Well, hey everyone, how you doing today? Simeon back with you. Thanks for watching my YouTube channel. Well, it's finally happened. I've been banned by Facebook. Well, not me personally, but my page, New Crystal Mind, that around 6,000 of you have actually checked that you liked, and it's been up there for many years, has been banned from being able to promote itself anymore. You know, there's an advertising section to Facebook, and you can promote your pages just to get more viewers to show it to people they think may be interested. They've told me that they think my Facebook page, New Crystal Mind, is too controversial, and they've had complaints about it. And I'm imagining that there would have been complaints over the years because the topics that I like to talk to you about are very controversial. If you've been watching my channel for any number of years, you know I like controversial science topics like remote viewing, UFOs, who and what makes crop circles and what some of their effects are. We've been over there many times. And most recently, the new topics, to me at least, about cold fusion and low energy nuclear reaction, the ECAT, you know, these low energy sources of power. Well, of course these are going to be controversial. It's the nature of science. But, you know, the wonderful thing about it is we live in a modern society now, and one of the benefits of a modern society is you can have different points of view. At least that's my idea of one of the benefits of modern society. We don't live in the Middle Ages now where you're burned at the stake for having a different point of view. And yet that's almost what Facebook is telling me, which is they don't want topics that stir up the pot too much. They want things that are smoother, that are not so challenging to people's minds. And be honest, some of the topics that I present to you here on YouTube and on my blog, New Crystal Mind, I don't think I would have believed in them 20 years ago either. But as you know, I'm a former statistics teacher and I go by the data. And the data show that the topics that I talk to you about have facts behind them, or I wouldn't be presenting them to you. So I've written to Facebook, I've asked them to show me what some of the complaints were, maybe we can address some of these, and so far I haven't heard from them. And until I hear from them, I'm not going to be posting anymore on Facebook because there's really no point if we can't promote some of these posts. I like to promote the posts because I think some of these things, special news events, some of my webinars, that you need to know about them. So you'll be able to find me here on YouTube, on Twitter, on my blog, New Crystal Mind. And the thing to really think about here is, you know, we take for granted a lot of these liberties that we have now to be able to speak freely, to communicate freely, and we really have to be on guard when we have companies that privately own our media, that they could censor what we can say, and that there's no recourse, you know, there's no process by which we can challenge them if they find something about what we're saying to be controversial or even inflammatory, or even that it could bother some people. I mean, heaven forbid that some of your posts may bother somebody. I know some of the posts that I've written, they would have bothered me a long time ago if I didn't know all the things that I know now. So anyway, you know, they say the price of liberty is eternal vigilance, and we need to be vigilant against any form of censorship, whether it comes from our governments, whether it comes from corporations, because we don't want narrow corporate profit motives to outweigh the long-term benefits of the truth. And we can only get to the truth by having a dialogue, by having a discussion. It's a process, and sometimes you're going to be offended by that, and sometimes you're not going to be. But that's the nature of living in a democratic society. It's the nature of the process where we can all arrive at the truth. Now, I've been reading this wonderful new book by David McCullough called The Wright Brothers. I'm reading this because in the history of science is full of controversial topics that people didn't believe in. We can go back to Galileo, we can go to Copernicus, we can go to Alexander Graham Bell and the telephone, Thomas Edison and the phonograph, Tesla. I mean, there's so many inventors and inventions that were not believed in. As you can guess, nobody believed the Wright brothers either. It's quite shocking to find out that none of the newspapers nor the magazines at the time, mainly Scientific American, believed them. They wouldn't even send reporters to look at their flights at Kitty Hawk nor outside of Dayton, Ohio, even after they had been successfully flying for, I believe, 2 years. They said it's impossible. So we need to watch out for our own biases, where we just immediately say something is impossible. You know, they say our mind is like a parachute. It only functions when it's open. The topics that I like to present to you are unified by one major idea, and I think you can guess what that is if you've been watching. It's the idea of resonance. Resonance is what allows systems to communicate. It allows information to travel across different physical boundaries, across dimensions perhaps, and even into our own awareness. It's a fascinating topic, and I believe it's one of the more under-investigated scientific principles that makes the universe work. You know, so one of the things I've done is to write back to Facebook in response and say, hey, I would be glad to come out and give you a slide presentation and even a training about remote viewing and some of these methods and systems that I've been studying for 20 years. You know, they're right in Menlo Park, which is across the street from Stanford, right in the neighborhood of Stanford Research Institute, where remote viewing was developed starting about 20 years ago. You know, Stanford Research Institute, now Stanford Research International, studies cutting-edge scientific topics, so I would think Facebook would be interested in this. So far, I haven't heard back from them. So if you're interested in coming along with me and learning more about these fascinating topics as they develop, keep watching this channel, and I'll have more information for you soon. So that's it for now. Keep watching, keep thinking, and more importantly, keep challenging. And that's the way we're going to all move forward together. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care for now, and bye.